The San Antonio Spurs aren't just building around one generational superstar. They're quietly assembling what could become the most intimidating front court in the entire NBA. Everyone already knows about Victor Wembanyama, the 7'4" unicorn who can block shots, handle the basketball like a guard, shoot from 30 feet, and completely change an opponent's game plan before the opening tip. But what if he's only the beginning? The Spurs have also added Jayden Quaintance, one of the youngest and most physically gifted defensive prospects to enter the NBA in years. And then there's Tarris Reed Jr., a bruising interior force who brings toughness, rebounding, screens, and relentless energy that championship teams desperately need. Individually, each player brings something unique. Together, they could create one of the deepest, longest, fastest, and most versatile front courts basketball has seen in decades. Today's video, we're diving into exactly how these three players could fit together, why their skill sets complement one another, what challenges still remain, and why San Antonio fans should be incredibly excited about the future. Let's get into it. Victor Wembanyama is still the foundation. Everything begins with Victor Wembanyama. When people discuss building a championship roster, they usually start by asking, what does our superstar need around him? For San Antonio, that's exactly what they're doing. Victor is unlike any player we've ever seen. He protects the rim at an elite level. He stretches defenses offensively. He creates mismatches against virtually every defender. He can initiate offense, he can switch onto guards, he can recover from mistakes that most defenders simply cannot. Because of his length, mobility, and instincts, Wembanyama erases mistakes before they become points. That's what makes building around him so fascinating. Most teams need one rim protector. The Spurs might end up having three. Instead of forcing Victor to wrestle with centers every possession, the Spurs now have options. They can preserve his energy, reduce wear and tear, allow him to roam defensively, and unlock an entirely different version of his game. That could be scary for the rest of the NBA. Jayden Quaintance could become the perfect defensive partner. He's one of the youngest players in professional basketball, yet despite his age, his defensive instincts already jump off the screen. His combination of athleticism, explosiveness, lateral movement, timing, and competitiveness gives him enormous upside. He's the type of player who enjoys defending. That's rare. Many young big men chase blocks. Jayden understands positioning. He rotates early, he contests vertically, he runs the floor, he attacks rebounds. Most importantly, he plays with controlled aggression. Imagine opposing offenses trying to attack the paint. They beat their first defender. They see Victor waiting. If they somehow avoid Victor, Jayden rotates over, or vice versa. That's exhausting for offenses. Instead of one elite shot blocker, teams may have to deal with two. The defensive ceiling is ridiculous. Defense wins championships. That's been true for decades, and San Antonio may be building one of basketball's nastiest defensive identities. Imagine this lineup: Victor protecting one side, Jayden protecting the other, both switching onto guards, both recovering, both contesting shots, both sprinting in transition. It's almost unfair. Opponents would almost have no safe place to attack. Guards won't enjoy driving, bigs won't enjoy posting, shooters won't enjoy getting clean looks. Every possession becomes uncomfortable. Length changes basketball. The Spurs are collecting length everywhere. Enter Tarris Reed Jr., the enforcer. Now here's where things become even more interesting. Tarris Reed Jr. brings something the other two don't: physicality. Every great defensive team needs someone willing to do the dirty work, setting crushing screens, fighting for rebounds, battling stronger centers, diving for loose balls, absorbing contact. Reed embraces that role. He doesn't need 20 shots. He doesn't need highlight plays. His value comes from doing everything winning basketball requires. Those players often become fan favorites. Championship teams always have them. The importance of role acceptance. One of the biggest reasons this trio could work, their games don't overlap too much. Victor wants space. Jayden thrives defensively. Tarris dominates inside. Nobody needs to force offense. Nobody has to chase statistics. Instead, each player enhances the others. Victor stretches the floor. Jayden runs. Reed screens. Victor creates. Jayden finishes. Reed rebounds. That's basketball synergy. Imagine the defensive rotations. Picture this. A guard beats his defender. Victor rotates. The pass goes to the dunker spot. Jayden rotates. Kick out to the corner. Reed closes out. Missed shot. Reed secures the rebound. Outlet pass. Victor pushes the break himself. Jayden fills one lane. Reed sprints straight down the middle. That's terrifying. Teams won't have time to breathe. Transition basketball could become a major weapon. One underrated aspect of this trio, how well they could play in transition. Victor loves pushing the ball. Jayden runs like a wing. Reed finishes through contact. Instead of slowing the pace, the Spurs could become one of the NBA's fastest teams, despite having tremendous size. Long rebounds, blocked shots, steals. Everything becomes transition opportunities. Length creates chaos. Chaos creates easy baskets. Offensive flexibility. Another exciting aspect, the offensive combinations. Victor at center. Victor at power forward. Jayden beside him. Reed beside him. 2 big lineups, 3 big lineups, small ball counters. San Antonio can experiment. Few teams have this much front court versatility. Depending on the matchup, they can adjust accordingly. Against smaller teams, punish them inside. Against bigger teams, match size. Against athletic teams, switch everything. That's roster flexibility. Rebounding could become elite. One weakness San Antonio occasionally battled, finishing defensive possessions. That usually comes down to rebounding. Adding Jayden, adding Reed changes that. Suddenly, the Spurs may consistently control the glass. Extra possessions, second chance points, fewer opponent opportunities. Those hidden advantages win games. Championship basketball often comes down to rebounding margins. This front court could dominate there. The physical identity returns. Historically, the Spurs were known for discipline, execution, smart basketball. Now, they might add intimidation. Opposing teams may think twice before attacking the paint, not because someone will commit a hard foul, because scoring simply becomes incredibly difficult. That psychological advantage matters. Elite defenses affect confidence. Players hesitate. Hesitation leads to mistakes. Mistakes create wins. Development is the biggest key. Now, let's be realistic. This isn't happening overnight. Jayden is extremely young. He's still developing physically. He's learning NBA defensive concepts. Offensive consistency will take time. Tarris Reed also has areas to improve, expanding his offensive game, improving mobility, continuing to refine defensive reads. Development rarely happens in a straight line. There will be mistakes, there will be growing pains. That's expected.
Chemistry will take time. Playing together sounds exciting. Actually building chemistry, that's different. Communication, rotations, spacing, timing, trust. Those things only come with repetition. The encouraging part, these players appear willing to embrace coaching. That's a huge advantage. How opponents might try to attack. Every great defense has weaknesses. Opponents will likely attempt to stretch the floor, force switches, play 5-out basketball, shoot high volumes of threes, move quickly without the ball. Can San Antonio adjust? That's where coaching becomes critical. Fortunately, having versatile defenders gives you more answers. The long-term ceiling. Here's what excites me most. Victor hasn't reached his prime. Jayden hasn't reached his prime. Tarris hasn't reached his prime. They're growing together. Imagine this group 3 years from now. Stronger, smarter, more experienced, better shooters, better communicators. That version could become one of basketball's elite defensive front courts. what this means for the Spurs championship window. Championship teams aren't built overnight. They're developed patiently. The Spurs appear committed to building sustainably. Rather than chasing quick fixes, they're investing in youth, athleticism, defense, versatility. Those qualities usually age well. If Victor Wembanyama continues evolving into an MVP-level superstar, and Jayden develops into an elite defensive weapon, and Reed becomes the dependable interior anchor every contender needs, San Antonio may possess something incredibly valuable: cost-controlled talent. That's how dynasties begin. The hidden benefit: competition. Another underrated advantage: internal competition. Practicing against Victor every day, battling Jayden, battling Reed. Iron sharpens iron. Everyone improves. Young teams become great through internal development. This trio could push one another daily. Could they become the NBA's best defensive frontcourt? It's certainly possible. Not immediately, but eventually? Absolutely. Length, athleticism, versatility, effort, motor, rim protection, rebounding, switchability. Those are the ingredients every elite defense needs. San Antonio might soon possess all of them. The NBA continues moving toward versatility: positionless basketball, switchable defenders, multiple rim protectors. The Spurs aren't fighting that trend. They're embracing it. Victor Wembanyama remains the franchise centerpiece. Jayden Quaintance could become the perfect long-term defensive running mate. Tarris Reed Jr. provides the toughness, rebounding, and physical presence every contender needs. Will there be growing pains? Absolutely. Will there be nights where youth shows? Without question. But the long-term vision is becoming clearer every month. Instead of relying on one superstar, San Antonio is building layers: multiple defenders, multiple rebounders, multiple rim protectors, multiple players capable of changing games without needing the basketball. That's how elite organizations build sustained success. The Spurs have always believed in patience over panic, development over shortcuts, culture over headlines. And if Victor Wembanyama, Jayden Quaintance, and Tarris Reed Jr. continue progressing together, the rest of the NBA may soon find itself facing one of the league's most dominant, versatile, and physically overwhelming frontcourts. The dynasty conversations may still be premature, but the foundation, it's already being built. Do you believe Wembanyama, Quaintance, and Tarris Reed Jr. can become the best frontcourt in the NBA within the next few seasons? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed today's breakdown, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.